All right. The one, the only. She is a fitness and relationship guru. She is a multiple time author. Give it up for Janvieve Naemani. Yeah. All right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nicholas Molina, reporter here from Wings Academy, and I'm here.
I'm here with the co-host named Adelina.
Solana.
Aisha.
The engineer Riri.
Lydia.
Elias. And we're here with today
Our special guest.
Nice
to meet you too, man.
All right, my fault. Nice to meet you, miss. Can you just reintroduce yourself real quick?
Sure. I'm Janvieve Naemani. I am a fitness and life coach, speaker, author, and entrepreneur. I'm a proud mama of 2 young adults. My son is 30, my daughter is 25, and I turn the big 5-1 March 2nd.
Hello.
So I started my career basically as a personal trainer, as a way to get out of what I was dealing with in high school. So I've always had a love for health and fitness, cross country. I received a scholarship. So whatever your dream is, just hold on tight to it because it will pay off. And fitness just became a part of my lifestyle. And then I got into the mental part, the spiritual part, the emotional part, which is very important in these days and times because depression, self-comparison, suicide is rampant. So I want you guys to first and foremost tap in with yourself, make sure you feel good, and tap in and talk with those who you need for support when it's needed.
All right, thank you, miss. Appreciate that. Now, we hear that you are an established author, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you please tell us about your best work or what you're most known for?
I'm most known for my inspirational work. So my first book was an inspirational memoir called Single, Sexy, and Satisfied, and I wrote it after my divorce as a way to show people that divorce is not a death sentence and being single is not suicide. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay if the relationship didn't work. It's okay if the marriage didn't work. And I know that if you have parents who are going through a divorce or a separation, be a little easy on them because we don't know everything. We are not perfect. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to write the book for people. It's a self-love book, but it's also an inspirational memoir on being a mom, being evicted, leaving my marriage with 12 dollars and 2 kids to feed, and showing people that when you have faith over fear, anything is possible.
Now, can you tell us about the hardest part about writing the book?
The hardest part? Well, you know what? There is no hard part when you really have a book inside of you. It's like writing a journal, right? So let's say you are going through some stuff. You, every day, if you write 1 page, that's 30 pages a month, right? And it's like a journal. It just comes out of you. So whatever you have in your heart, in your mind, your soul, make sure that you write it down every single day, even if it's an idea. You get it out and do a brain dump. If there's something that's bothering you, get it out as a brain dump. I finished my book in 30 days. Now, when you have a little fire under your bottom, you get it done quick. So we had to be out in 30 days because we were being evicted. So I wrote the book in 30 days to flip the money so that we can move into the new place. So when you have a desire, it can happen quicker, but you don't have to have, such an emergency going on. If there's something you want to do, write the book, start the plan, start the business, and it doesn't matter your age. Your mindset is what matters.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said you had 30 days, you're about to get evicted. And that must have been like really difficult. I want to know, like, how did you deal with being a parent and explaining to your kids, like, hey, we got to leave and I don't know where we're going, maybe?
Yes. So when I got the eviction notice under the door, my daughter was like, Mommy, is that the eviction notice? And I was like, no, it's just an old bill. But she knew, so she saw my teardrop and she said, finish the book could save us. So it was the same year that Hurricane Sandy hit, and I said, God, if you just leave our lights on, I will finish this book. So I wrote 9 chapters that day. I Googled how to self-publish. I created a calendar, a fitness calendar, took that money, flipped it, and self-published the book in 30 days. And then the 30 days after that, I got myself on Good Day New York. No publicists, no media, just grit, grind, becoming a social media beast, like connecting with who I needed to connect with in order to put me in a position to do what I needed to do. So when you have, of course, when you have kids, it's different because you're just gonna grind and do what you need to do. But for those who don't have kids, you gotta find your why. When you find your why, you'll find your way.
That's amazing.
So,
No,
thank you.
that's great. That's great. All right, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, things of that nature?
Sure. I was born in Queens Village, went to August Martin High School. I received a track scholarship to Livingstone College in North Carolina. Stayed there for 2 years, then came back to New York, went to Catherine Gibbs for maybe 9 months. I got pregnant with my son, but I maintained a 3.5 on the dean's list.
GPA.
Yes, and with my son in my stomach. So he's my little best friend. They both are the reason why I'm still here today. When people say, how do you write a book about rock bottom? I say, well, rock bottom looks like me. It looks like suicidal thoughts. It looks like eviction. It looks like divorce. It looks like low self-esteem. It looks like anxiety. So sometimes we judge people on what we look like, and sometimes you can't always judge because that's not what we are dealing with, right? So just be mindful to never judge, because just because we show up looking amazing and we feel good, some of us are hurting on the inside. That's why you see so much rest in peace, so much suicide, so much things that are going on in the world. So make sure that you are keeping it honest and real with yourself and what you're dealing with. And if you have a problem, always turn on some music, dance, because energy, when you get that blood flow and you feel good. You have a good song that you like, a good song that you play? Do you have a good song that you play when you're feeling down sometimes?
Yeah.
I feel like a
What's that song?
It's a lot, but the main one is it's by Janae Aiko, but
Yes, I love her. She's a Pisces too. I just wanted one song. See how do we think of that one song on top of your head? Put that song on when you are feeling down. And just switch up the energy. Your parents are arguing, switch up the energy. You just had an argument with somebody, switch up the energy, because when we hold that negative energy, that's when the universe will send us more of bad stuff. When we switch the energy to good vibrations and what we want, that's when the universe will send us more blessings. You know? Thoughts become things, as you know. Energy is everything. All right? Yes. Sorry. What? You have a question?
I noticed your jewelry and like, what is it called, an ankh or
Yes,
something?
it is.
Yeah, I've seen like many people like explaining that or like wearing jewelry like that. Like, can you like explain like what
Sure.
it is?
Well, the ankh means man, woman, and child. I got this in '98. It's my art feather. So in those times, if they weighed your heart and they weighed a feather, and your heart was heavier than the feather, you had a lot of cleansing to do. Your heart was very heavy. So I look at it as a balance to not keep anything heavy on my heart that's weighing me down. I don't care if it's a toxic relationship, if it's an argument, if it's weighing my heart down, I have to let go of it. So it's just a reminder. And I want you guys to do the same. Whatever's holding you down, you can't fly with so much baggage, right? Sometimes you gotta let people off. You gotta let them off the elevator because everybody can't go. Remember that, okay? If there's anyone that's holding you down or back in your life, then sometimes you have to love them from afar. And that doesn't mean you'll never speak. It just means that they're not on the same journey, and that's okay.
So it's very obvious you have a lot of experience, and I want to know, is there like a specific quote that you live by to help you get past like
Yes,
the hard time?
there are so many. Faith over fear, because they both can't exist at the same time. So you gotta choose one. And either it has to work or it has to work. You have to have that mindset and believe in yourself when nobody's around to fan your flames, nobody's around to cheer you on, and you're by yourself in those dark moments. You have to dig deep. If you pray to God, whomever you pray to, and just talk with self and know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't matter how you dress, what you have and what you don't have. Because God gave you everything here and here.
We'll ask around. So you mentioned sometimes if someone's in your life and they're not helping you in life, or maybe they're pulling you in the wrong direction, you might have to not have them in your life, right?
Yes.
Has anyone here ever experienced having to maybe have someone not be in your life anymore because it's not good for you?
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell us.
Many times. More recently, my blood father. He has he wasn't there before, and he showed who he really was not so long ago. He did something that didn't really sit right with me, and it felt like he was only really there when he wanted to be, and he wanted to, I don't know, kind of teach me a lesson by doing that, but it didn't really feel like the lesson that I needed at the time. That's really it. I don't want to get too deep into it, but yeah.
I get it. That must be really hard to deal with. Did you like have a conversation? You tell him like I don't want to really talk too much anymore. Like how did it go?
I mean, it was a really unfortunate situation. Like it was just really just like out of nowhere. But he told me that it was mainly something that I didn't do right. But when realistically speaking, he wasn't trying himself. He wasn't trying to be there for me, and he tried to put the whole situation on me when in reality it just wasn't that way. So I had to let go of him.
How are you like kind of healing from that?
I'm still healing from that, since it was, very recent. But I'm, day by day, I am learning that, after high school, I am just gonna have me. Although I'm gonna have peers, I'm gonna have family, I am gonna be me. Day by day, I'm gonna be here, for as long as I need to be. So.
We're proud of you. Thanks for sharing. I know that took a lot. And you are strong. You are strong. You helped somebody in here. Thank you so much for getting that off your chest.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else?
Anybody
Go
else?
next.
Really?
Repeat the question real quick?
You know the question.
No.
You took it like if you've ever had to maybe have someone not be in your life anymore intentionally because they're not really helping you in a positive direction.
I have a quick story time. My grandmother, this was like back last year in March. No, 2023 March. Recently something happened, but they didn't really give me too much info. But I haven't seen my grandmother. Like it was almost 3 years. We stopped living with her because like something happened between her and my mom. Like it involved money. My mom was trying to get out. My grandma stole from her. It was a long story. It was back in 2020 when COVID was going on. But yeah, 3 years later, new house, new everything. Yeah, so one day, my mom asks me like, oh, Kiki, which is my aunt, wanted to have us go over there for a quick moment. I'm like, okay. So my mom stood in the living room. She never went near my grandmother's room or anything. They were kind of just distant from each other. But that was like the first time in 3 years where I got to see my grandmother. I'm telling you, when I went into that house, I felt like I was a giant. It felt so like it's been there for so long, and I felt like I was a giant in that house. So I got to see my grandma, everything cool. I ended up seeing most of my family, my uncles, everything. Like later on, this is when like last year during the summer, my mom and my grandmother slowly. No, this was in May, like before the summer hit. I had prom, graduation, senior middle school, everything. I have to pay for a lot of things. So, again, the same problem happened again. The money issue. So, my mom gave her the benefit of the doubt to let her hold my senior money because she was helping me buy a prom dress. I'm saying. Again, I wasn't really much informed, but eventually the money problem happened again. I also started arguing with my grandma. I try to make it like, I wanted to hold on to my grandma for a little longer. Like, every day after school, on a Friday, I would always go to her house just to give her a visit because everybody moved out of her house. It was like a big family home. Now it's just her and the cat Pinky. And my cousin, because my cousin school's just right there. So yeah, everybody moved out. So I gave her like the quality to have someone there, like every weekend or whenever break or like summer. So yeah, I wanted to hold to my grandma for a little longer, but then eventually I kind of seen like the type of person she was becoming. She was trying to like, in a way, manipulate me into thinking like my mom should be thinking about this. Like she's wrong for getting mad at me about money. Like I kind of just looked at her like that last week before I stopped going to her house. I kind of just looked at her like, "Are you serious?" Because it's like I'm older. I'm not 10 anymore, so I can really just see who you are and what you are. So yeah, I kind of just seen her true colors, and I'm like, I mean, I still love her. It's my grandma. Only reason why I'm still alive to this day, but I kind of had to let her go. It wasn't nice. I didn't like the way she was trying to manipulate me into breaking that relationship me and my mom had, because me and my mom been through a lot of deep cuts. Some are still healing, but you know, and her trying to manipulate me and me like not to like my mom and stuff again. I didn't like that, so I kind of just had to let her go. Everybody else. So if I let her go, I had to let go of the rest of my family. And I did. The only people I really see for real is my cousin and my uncle, my aunt. I don't really see anybody else. I don't see my brothers anymore. I don't see anybody else. But I had to let go of my grandma. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I know it's sometimes hard for you to speak your mind, but I'm really happy you shared that with everybody. Does anyone else want to go? Go. Oh, pass the microphone.
So basically about my situation is that a few years ago my dad got deported from like this country to his home country, and then like the thing is though, I don't think he really liked my mom that much, cause like he wouldn't normally be around her because my mom would usually like yell or scream at my siblings. But so then my dad basically said to my mom that he was gonna go visit his dying mom, which is my grandma on his side. So then, but the only problem is that he didn't renew his visa like like right before that. So he ended up not being able to like come back here ever again. So I mean, the only negative impact it had, or what he did is that like I was about to say, he did not really like some of the people in my family, which is why that was another reason why he left instead of his dying mom. But like I've only spoke to him like a few times this year, and he's still doing pretty well. But like it's insane to me that to find out that he has another family that he's taking care of. But I mean I don't really blame him because sometimes people in my family could be like rude to each other. So like, but the thing is starting another family, like,
Yeah.
I mean that's alright.
That's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot to handle.
No, yes,
I think that's it. That's it.
no, you
Well, thank you for sharing.
appreciate you, kid.
Wow. Should do a record shot for that.
No, really, I know you don't always, again, you don't always like to speak too much, but I appreciate you sharing that. I know that's really a hard thing to go through. So I feel like everyone here has been through something definitely difficult, and sometimes just speaking about it can be really healing, even if it's not providing a solution in that moment to the actual problem, you know?
Talking about things is fun.
Always when you think you have a problem, somebody always has it worse. So remember that when you're going through it.
100%.
Because you guys didn't even know, had no idea he was going through that, did you?
No, no idea.
Like that's deep. Like a whole other family when you barely know your father yourself can be very hurtful.
Yeah.
So I commend you, young man, and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna make you very strong. You know that, right? Very strong. And I hope that that got a lot of pain off of your chest. And I know it hurts, but I pray that God sends you who and what you need. And when you are in your dark moments, I want you to look in the mirror and remember your power and that you're here for a reason.
Right.
Nobody has your fingerprint and nobody does it like you. Remember that, okay?
I want to go back to when you were saying don't like dwell on the situation as much because somebody has it worse there. To me, I've never understood that because I feel like a situation somebody has, like, it affects them differently. Just because I'm not saying like your situation is like like my situation matters. I feel like each person, it affects them differently. So I don't really understand the saying don't dwell on the situation because somebody has it worse there. I feel like that's like saying, oh, don't be too happy because there's somebody else being happier than you. I don't know. I don't really get that.
Okay, I see your point.
Yeah.
Well, it's just saying that whenever we're in our moments, right, of feeling bad, like you say, for instance, you had to take a cold shower today because your building just messes up, or you had to take the stairs because the elevator wasn't working. So in those moments, what I mean by that is, okay, you had to take the elevator 6 flights, but there's someone in a wheelchair who wishes they could walk the 6 flights. There's someone who has cold water showers because they're in a different country where they don't have hot water or any running water. It's not to say that yours is different. Now you are correct when you say the happiness part. Does that take away from yours? No, but everybody's situation is different. However, it's just a way to help you through yours, knowing that somebody's always dealing with something worse. Someone right now is getting beat up. Someone right now is in the hospital bed. Someone right now is about to get raped. So there's so many different things going on in the world. So what I'm saying is that when you have those low moments, just give thanks for what is working out. If you could just find 3 things to be grateful for in the moment of feeling down. Like, you know what? I do have a roof over my head. I can see, I can hear. I got some food in my fridge. You know what? I'm pretty warm. And I have a bed to sleep in at night. You know what? It's not that bad. And then just kind of put yourself in that vibration. And when you switch up that energy, you'll find more things to be grateful for.
Oh yeah, I understand now. What is something like? What is something that
You can do it, sweetie. I love a good hand clap now.
What is something that keeps you going? Like sometimes when you like start to slack off, what is something that like reminds you to keep going and pushing yourself?
My kid. Still to this day, my kids, even though they are young adults, it's still to this day because I still want to do what I couldn't do when they were younger. So when I feel like I'm not getting booked for the biggest speaking engagements like Tony Robbins, I remember my journey and I wasn't getting booked for anything. So even little things like this, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to be able to be here with all of you guys. And when we are grateful for those little blessings, more come. Now, let's say I was cocking, like, you know what, I'm not going to speak to 8 kids. I want to speak to 800. That's a different low vibration energy. That's not me. So what's my why is that my kids, everything I do is to show them and to help them, even though they are young adults, and just spoil them like I couldn't do when they were younger. So that's my why. And when I feel like giving up, I think about them, or I think about the former version of myself who is being evicted.
Right.
Good questions.
What do you think is something, or do you have any advice for the cohort of this year? Whether it be just this school or another school, what do you have, like, what advice do you have for graduating students for this year?
You?
Or for this, like, generation?
You, right?
Such as Nick. Yes, such as Nick.
Seniors. That's right there.
Right.
Okay. Congratulations,
Appreciate
firstly. I'm proud of you. Secondly, so when you go to college, right, there's going to be a lot of comparison. There's going to be a lot of social media comparison. There's going to be a lot of what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So when you go there, I want you to remember this conversation and remember that you're there for a reason. and to stay focused, but also have fun, but also stay focused on what you need to do, and also make time to work out. Even if it's in your room, dance, move your
Yes.
body, because, you know, in college we can, you know, we get the munchies and we have bad habits and we gotta be at every party. You don't have to be at every party, and you don't have to be pressured to do something you don't want to do.
Mm.
Ask yourself if it's a good yes or if it's a hard no. If you have to think more than twice about it, it may be a definite no.
Right.
So focus on what you need. However, treat yourself. If you finished all your work and you're doing great, then do something that brings you joy, but don't feel pressured to do anything that doesn't feel good in your spirit.
Mm.
Okay, I could go on and on, but.
So real quick, you gonna introduce yourself over here?
Oh my
Can you
God,
pass
King
the
Kong
microphone?
flowers.
Those are for me?
You.
It is actually. All right, real quick, I wanted to give a special thank you to our special guest, Janvieve. Can we clap it up first? Can we clap it up first? And your amazing podcast facilitator. Clap it up for I ran out. I would have got you some.
Wow.
It's fine. I don't think it's
Some great questions in here.
You're killing it.
She got trained amazing.
I need you to pass the microphone quick. Over.
Like you missed a lot.
Introduce yourself.
You missed a good
Don't worry.
one.
I'm John Lennon.
Okay.
Stop it.
John Lennon.
John Lennon Castillo.
All right.
Wait.
All right. That's
Oh,
why
that's
it's a
real
good
name.
name.
I know John.
You know what his last name is? London.
So did you have to ask anything else? Is everyone's questions? I know all of you asked me. You asked me some powerful questions. Did you? You want to ask me something?
Ask.
Go ahead.
I don't have any questions.
Don't think too hard. Just something that we all spoke on.
Wait,
or
what's your
something
favorite color? Ask him.
No, something serious. Something.
Okay. Did you ever overcome any mental like courses, like any type of thing that's gonna really hurt you in your life?
Did I overcome any mental courses?
Yeah, like growing up, like ever since like the eviction thing,
Oh no,
being a
thank
writer or
God.
anything.
Thank God, no. So how I remember when I told you before, it's easy to come off of your journey when you are having. Now, did I have suicidal thoughts?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Did I pour out a bottle of pills and want to take it? Yes, I did. But then my daughter, I heard her say, "Mommy, when is dinner?" And I decided to put the pills back in the bottle. So yes, I did have a low moment. But then I was like, I woke myself up like, why would I do that? Because if it doesn't work, then they're gonna have to pump my stomach. I'm gonna have to go on a straitjacket in a hospital, and I'm not crazy. So let me just put this back. I'm having a low moment, a weak moment, and I don't want to do that to my baby. So I just kind of shook it off.
Right.
Went to dance and made dinner, and I put it in my book. So I put that in the book to show people that I still had to deal with anxiety and suicidal thoughts, and just would it be easier if we just if we just passed away together. That used to be my wish when we were younger, so that none of us would be hurt when the other one was still here, that we could just go to the next level together. I know that that's it's different, but we're just so very close in the bond, you know what I mean? So, but yes, I did overcome that for that 5 minutes of the pills being on the bed.
I hope you don't feel that
Thank
way
God.
anymore.
No, never again. That was over 15 years ago, and I appreciate you
15
for
years.
asking.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, but I appreciate you for asking. How old are you?
I'm 14.
Okay, you're very mature. Very, very mature. I love it.
Don't get the mic in my face, bro.
I love it, and what I love about you also, I love all of you have a different energy and a beautiful vibe, but I know that it's pressure for you to take sides about your mom and your grandma. But I want to remind you that it's okay to, maybe when you get older, you can, still see your grandmother if that's something you want to do.
She's still alive.
Right, if she's still alive. Let's hope that she
Nah,
is,
she
right?
gonna make it, because us Dominicans, we live long.
Okay,
Trust
so
me.
now that you know, when you do that, just remember that sometimes you gotta let people off the elevator, but you can still pray for her from afar. You can still love from afar, because when we forgive others, we can forgive ourselves when we forgive others as well.
Yeah, I just felt bad. Like, I didn't want to pick a side. Cause
I know. I know, I've been there.
A lot of things. You gonna
I
ruin
get
it for
it.
me, man.
I get it because I had to pick a side. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm about to go right
I
over
was
there.
like, okay.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Can you pass the microphone real quick, Nick?
Oh, who that? Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kiki,
introduce yourself.
Don't make that face, man. We love you. Go ahead.
What's your name?
Well,
Another special guest here.
Yeah.
We didn't hear you, miss.
Yeah. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, this episode we have a special guest and
How you say your name again?
Janvieve.
Yeah.
You can say Miss J if you like.
You
alright?
Cool.
We move this so you can sit, so you can get comfy. So we were talking about mental struggles, physical struggles, and just life. And everyone shared a part of their life that is difficult for them. The deepest one I've heard is, what's your name, young man? Elias had a very deep, powerful story. She had a very powerful story. They all did. So if there's something that you feel comfortable in sharing, you can. If not, you're not comfortable yet, it's okay. But this is a safe space from what I see. And people are going through some really tough times. So Elias just shared about his dad and his dad being deported and starting a whole new family with someone else. Now that has to hurt. That has to hurt a lot. So whatever you're dealing with, if you want to share, you can. If not, it's okay. And what's your name, my love?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. So you shared that part of your dad and not being able to be close to him the way you wanted to be, correct? So do you feel better after healing? After sharing that with us? Do you feel like a little weight has been lifted?
I mean, more or less. I've had the chance to express what I felt about the situation with the rest of my family.
Good.
So I have had other outlets to
And that's good.
resolution. So.
And now you're gonna start fresh in college. You got that off your chest. And I'm so proud of you. You all are.
Yeah.
So keep shining.
Yeah.
You have any more questions?
Please pardon the interruption. Poppy Diallo, please come to 202. Poppy Diallo, please come to row
His real name is
202.
Bobby.
I hope not.
I have a question because you mentioned track, and I want to know what you ran in track.
I ran the
Here we
800,
go.
15,
Just start trying to
um,
compete. Like,
the 1500 and 3000. So I was the longest.
Ooh.
So discipline.
Okay.
Discipline. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to tell you guys, the reason why I became good at track was because I was in a violent household. So to get away from my dad and my aunt always fighting, I would run for miles. And I would put my headphones on, and when I would have the track meets, my coach would be like, "What workouts are you doing?" Because I'd just be running and running and running. And I used to have weights on. I would put my headphones on and just block out their arguing. And I would remember I told you guys when you're feeling overwhelmed to just dance. Because when you dance and when you work out, you're moving the blood, you're moving the energy, and the negativity kind of gets out of you. And also, what was the plus of, I had to turn remember when I told you that whatever you're going through, somebody else has it worse?
Right.
So no one would ever think that I was dealing with an alcoholic father because I would just be happy all the time. And people were just like, "Why are you so happy all the time?" But they didn't know how much heartache I was dealing with at home. So for those 4 years that I was in high school, I remained a virgin because I didn't want anything messing up my scholarship because I wanted to get out of that house. So those 4 years, I became really good at what I did. I got the track scholarship to Livingstone College for 2 years. But would I have been that good at track if my dad wasn't arguing? If I didn't have anything to run away from? So use that thing that you're dealing with that's hurting you and turn that pain into your pleasure. It got me a track scholarship. Right? Look at you. You're so cute.
I think everything happens for a reason.
So yes, I got a track scholarship. So long distance running, it helped me. It helped to clear my mind, clear my heart. And I said, if I can just stay the course until I graduate, then and when I turn 18, I can do whatever I want. So when I heard my dad and my aunt arguing and the fighting and the cops at the house, I was just like, 18 is coming.
What?
And I waited. And when I turned 18, I was out.
Just like that?
Just like that.
No problem?
No problem.
Yes, sir.
You're so sweet. Yeah, so it's my hand clap.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love you guys. Yeah, but thank you for allowing me to share that. It takes me back to a time when I was like, yeah, and I became a young mom. So 2 years after college, at 20, I got pregnant with my son as soon as I came back to New York. So,
Wait.
look at you. Don't be adding
Trying
stuff
to do the
up.
math.
Don't be adding stuff up.
Wait. No, I don't do that. Never mind.
Go ahead, say it. I'm 51.
Hey, Suze, you're 51. You look like you 40.
I told you.
Girl,
Thank
stop
you.
playing with me.
Beautiful thing.
Thank
Oh,
you.
beautiful.
That's the
Good
health and
nutrition
fitness lifestyle.
and working
Yes.
out.
Yes,
Yep.
water, and also letting people off the elevator. Remember what I told you?
Mhm.
Because people will stress you out and make you look older. They'll make you have heart pain,
Yeah.
anxiety. And why? You all are beautiful and amazing. Why waste your energy on people who don't deserve your energy or your space or your time?
Did it ever hurt you? Just to
Huh? Did it ever hurt me to let go? You know what? I had to let go of my mom. Yeah. My dad passed away in 2011 from colon cancer. My mom didn't raise me, so I gave my kids everything that I didn't get from a mother. So I was extra affectionate. I was extra loving, and I was extra, that mom that I didn't have. So I pray for her from afar, and I wish her the best. But she probably just, she has a tumor in her brain now, so I send her love and light. But being that she probably won't know who I am if I go to see her, it's very uncomfortable to just sit and talk to. It's like a stranger. I probably know you guys better than I know my mom.
Oh no.
So remember when I said you never know what anyone is going through, so be kind and compassionate because somebody always has it worse. But why should I dwell on that, right? I became a pretty good mom from not having a good mom. I became a pretty good track runner from a domestic violence household. Don't you start crying. So I just want to remind you that you can do, be, or have anything that you put your mind to if you think you can.
Can I jump in and ask a question?
Sure.
All right, I got a question based on what you just said.
Introduce yourself, please.
I gotta introduce myself?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, everybody? My fault. My name is Carl Michelle. That's my government name. They call me King Carl. Some people know me as Young Executive. Michelle is my last name for real.
Yes.
So real quick, you mentioned that based on everything that you experienced, you wanted to be the opposite, meaning you wanted to be a great mother. You wanted to be someone who's supportive, someone who is, compassionate. Now, why is it that some people can grow up in a household of abuse or alcoholism and stuff like that and fall into it as an adult, right? Like, I got abused as a kid, now I'm abusing my kids or other people, or a whole bunch of other things that could be, traumatic, right? Why is it that some people fall into it and some people run away from it and do the opposite? And how do we get to the more healthy way to cope with things?
Okay, that's a great question. So I guess it depends on the mindset of the person. And if you don't have anything, if you're a child dealing with that and you don't have anything to fall back on, it's easier to be that alcoholic person or to turn into who your parents were, right? However, if you have something to fall back on, as for me, it was track, then it's a better chance that you won't be like that person. But if you have nothing going for you and you're just like, you know what, he beats my mom, I'm gonna beat my wife, and it just becomes, down the line. So when you have something, remember when I told you guys, when you find your why, you find your way. And when you hold on to something, and when you have a mindset that takes you out of that, like some people see the glass half full, some people see the glass half empty. So everybody has their different mindset. It basically depends on what you're dealing with at the time. So to answer your question, it could be, if that person is negative and just chooses not to better themselves, they're going to fall into that hole of the addiction. For a long time, I didn't like the smell of cigarettes because my dad smoked and drank. And a lot of times, if I dated a man who drank Smirnoff, I didn't like it. Like, I didn't do any of that stuff. And just being a 10-year-old who had to clean up my dad's vomit, so to speak, when he came home drunk. When I had to pick him up off the ground when the cops came to the house, when I had to go to court and the court asking me, who do I want to stay with, my mom or my dad? Me choosing my dad.
I didn't mean that, guys.
That's okay. So by choosing my dad, my mom had this grudge with me for years. But even as a 9-year-old, I knew that I didn't want to go with her because she had bad vibrations.
Right.
God bless her, but even though my dad was an alcoholic, I knew him better than I knew my mom, is what I'm saying. So that's why I chose my dad. And if I didn't choose my dad, back to the cross-country story, I would have never become one of the best cross-country runners because I wouldn't have been running away from anyone. So yes.
I love that.
Thank you. I love you too. So sweet. Guys, you think about that story like, damn, well, what's going on in your head?
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
I'm looking at you like, Miss, how are you still standing, man?
I know. That's what. Remember, I tell you your why. My why is my kids. Even on my darkest days, I still cry. I still get frustrated. I still get depressed. I have a good cry, and then I put on my big girl panties and do what I need to do.
Yeah, everybody has feelings.
Yep.
We all
So
process them differently, though.
exactly. So when you know who you are, you know who you're not, and just remember that nobody has your fingerprint. Nobody does it like you. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, darling.
After your divorce and everything, and like you were healing, how did you look back at marriage, or like how did you get back? Did you see yourself getting married again? Or anything?
No.
No, man.
That's a hard no.
Good.
I don't want to taint anyone that's looking to get married. However, I will say this. I probably just married my roommate. We probably weren't good together. And he had not my kid's father, but the person that I married had he had somewhat of a temper. So throwing things, doing things, and I just wasn't there for it. So you have to pick up on the signs. And ladies, I want you to know that a push leads to a shove. A shove leads to throwing things. Throwing things leads to driving fast. Driving fast leads to hands around neck. So, yes, I went through all of that as well. And I say that to say that's why I will never again settle in my life. And I don't want you to either. Fellas, I don't care how pretty the woman is, how banging her body is. If she brings you emotional distress, do not settle. Ladies,
Say no more.
do not settle.
You jump in? You want to jump in?
No, there's
You say
nothing to say.
No, I think he has something to say.
Now you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you
What?
do.
Why is it coming to me?
Huh? I have nothing to say.
Just
But since I'm late, I don't know who you are or what you do, so would you like to answer?
Why would you say?
Oh, because you came in
Yeah, I
late.
came in late, that's what I'm
You
saying.
came in late, okay. So, I'm Janvieve Naemani. I'm a speaker, life coach, and author.
Okay.
And I was sharing my journey with your peers on how I became a coach, how I became an author, how I became who I am after hitting rock bottom 28 times, bouncing back, after being evicted 4 times in 5 years, after leaving my marriage with $12 and 2 kids to feed, becoming a young mom. My son is 30 and my daughter's 25. And like I told them, I turned 51. So when you take care of your health and your mind and your body and your soul and you protect your peace, age is truly just a number. It's never too old, it's never too late, and you're never too young. So whatever that thing is that you want to do, just execute on it and put good people around you. And let people off the elevator because everybody can't go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We are back from a quick intermission. Took a little break to, digress. That's not even the right word, but you know what I meant. I have a question for you, miss. I'm sorry?
Completely.
Oh, my fault.
Are you serious?
Damn, son.
Yeah, hold the question. Remember the question, all right?
Turbo host. What is that doing?
So,
Screaming. It's screaming for his life.
all right, so check.
That was
Yeah.
great. Okay.
Well, this is the podcast club, and the podcast club, as you may know, is just an opportunity for us to talk about whatever we want to talk about, get things off our chest. If there's something that's bothering you, if there's something that's troubling you, if there's something that is ongoing that you just want to just release, this is your opportunity to do so, right? I know when I was in high school, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of us, in high school, I was a very, very introverted kid, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. So when things were going on in my life, when things were going on at home, I just kept it all bottled up inside, you know? And when one little thing happened, it exploded, you know?
I'm just talking about the topic.
I'm gonna get there. So I was setting the table pretty much, right? So one of the things that I always did is I kept stuff bottled up inside, and it came out at the wrong moments. So this is a safe space where we are able to express ourselves on different things. We have a special guest here who's experienced a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma, a lot of drama in her life, and she was open enough and transparent enough to share that with us. And everyone has gotten an opportunity to share anything that's on their mind that they've been dealing with or anything that's been troubling them. So if you want to share, if you want to be transparent about your feelings, anything that's going on in your life, floor is yours.
That's what it's about.
For today, yeah.
There's no like certain, not a certain topic. Just a quick safe space.
No, we're just interviewing Janvieve, and this is again a safe space that you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're dealing with that's heavy on your heart and been stressing you out.
Yeah, like advice or anything. But
Anything
been
at
through
all.
everything.
The first thing that comes to your head.
I think that so. As like some of y'all probably know. Hey, look.
I don't got the tissue. I'll be right back.
It's okay. Let it out. So whatever brought out those tears, that's what we want to hear in the safe space between us.
So as y'all probably like heard, my sister passed away on August, like before the summer ended. She basically got into an accident, and ever since then, like.
Okay, take your time.
Ever since then, I a lot of trauma, especially seeing she looked like in the hospital.
So
She was bruised up. It looked so bad. It looked extremely bad. I couldn't resist the fact that even her funeral too, like I saw her in a casket. I saw her in a casket the way she was lying there, and her family and stuff.
type of conversations that need to be had. And I can tell by everyone in the room that all of us have been affected by this loss. You know, this is not easy at all. Grief is something that some people hold on to forever and never really constructively release. You know, it's one of those things that can be with us forever and we never really deal with it or heal from it. And it hurts a lot of our relationships moving forward. So I want to thank you for your bravery and transparency in sharing that. Like, that is a very big deal. So thank you for that. You could keep going back.
So, you know, and, you know, I suffered through multiple trauma ever since then. And, but, like, you know, it's suffering, I feel like it might be, like, the worst year of maybe until like, the rest of my high school year. I don't know. I don't even know if it was good. I don't know, but, you know, she passed away. She was only 17. She was gonna be a senior in here in Leeds Academy, like the rest of or most of you. No, she was gonna graduate and stuff. I think she was planning on going to college with her best friend, and you know, it's something I'm gonna be proud of eventually. But in June, it might be the worst month because I'm not gonna see her on there. Like, I'm gonna be happy with the fact that, you know, I'm pretty sure most of you are seniors here. Like, of course I'm gonna be happy for y'all eventually, but, you know, this is not gonna be the same. I'm telling you right now, and I feel like one of the worst parts is I'm gonna be 17 next year. And, you know, I feel like that might be the only birthday that I'm not gonna be celebrating due to that. But how I keep moving forward is the fact that, you know, I just like keep just release the tears and just, you know, keep moving as time goes by. Because I know that's what she's gonna want from me eventually. And as well as my parents and stuff.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so, but there are multiple times I've been in my very depressed, so that's why, you know, that I don't be having, like, times where I get up and just, do the activities that I used to enjoy doing, but because I feel in my low depressed state of mind, it's preventing me from doing those, so I just be on my bed most of the time, and it's just, you know, I've been crying too. I was tired of crying, like crying too much, especially in school. Due to like there's always people around, and you know, I feel like it's embarrassing to cry in front of people because I just don't want them seeing me that depressed. So only I can see it for myself. Like I can like be in that depressed and see myself in that depressed, so not other people. Unless if it's like my family and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It's just that I feel like I said, I feel like it's embarrassing to do so, so I just tend to bottle it up, and that's also another reason why I'm not really used to like expressing myself, because I don't know if they're gonna basically judge me or whatnot, but so I just tend to bottle up my emotions, which is preventing me from ever speaking up to other people. But
But this is a start, right?
yeah, I mean, still fresh, but
Can I jump in right there? First thing I want to do is I just want to applaud your bravery, so we can make this. It is, in fact, the opposite of what your mind tells you, right? Your mind tells you, oh, you look weak, or this is embarrassing, or you shouldn't cry in front of people, hold it all in, keep it together, and all that stuff. That is a lie that your mind tells you. especially in these moments.
Yeah.
Like, you are the strongest person in this room, but you're it takes a strong person to be able to let those tears flow and to cry in front of others, and for you to express yourself. As challenging as it is to talk about your sister and everything you and your family have experienced, it takes a strong woman to be able to do that. So again, you're not weak at all. This is not embarrassing. We are proud of you, and this is a strong woman that we're looking at. So you should be proud of yourself, okay?
Yeah, on top of that, on top of that, especially even when it comes to like expressing myself to other people, I have trust issues, especially when attempting to like be in some relationships or whatnot.
Right.
So that's the thing that I have trouble with, is trusting other people, because I don't know if they're gonna tell it to somebody else or whatnot.
Right.
But I don't know.
And that's something you gotta take your time with. You know, trust doesn't happen overnight. You know, and sometimes you gotta give people an opportunity to prove that they are trustworthy. You know, so not everyone is, and that's just a fact. But there are some people that really care about you, that are really close to you, that you can really trust and confide in. You know. Yeah. So, does anybody else want to chime in and share anything?
I'll chime in real quick.
And Bob, right?
Okay, so Kiki, I'm gonna let you know right now as your friend. I know we don't talk a lot since different grades and all that. I want to give a quick moment to your sister, a quick moment of silence for anybody else who have passed away, loved ones. Feel me? I will say, like I said, on cross said, yeah, whatever your mind tells you that's negative, this could be the complete opposite. Like, I'm telling you, it's not embarrassing to cry. It's not anything like that, because we have emotions. It makes us human.
Right. That's just me in general. I don't know about any of you, but that's just me personally in general. I just personally find it to be embarrassing to cry in front of people, just like how I just did. But
yeah, it's not embarrassing, trust me, because when it comes to me, I'll give you my own example. When I cry, I tend to joke all the time. Like, I could literally be crying right now, just be smiling at the same time. But in reality, I'm just really just, but I tend to joke.
yeah.
So, yeah, but I will say, like, I'm here, and I don't want you to think that you're ever alone when it comes to your sister or whatever you're feeling. Because, like I said, we're human, we have feelings, we have our own problems. But it just depends on how you overcome it and how you become stronger every time. Things happen for a reason. Especially when God hits you with the sand on the back of your head. Telling I'm telling you, when things really try to hit you hard, it's for a good reason. Things hit you, it's just to make you stronger, because life knows this happens to you. This is when you end up becoming experienced. You're more stronger. You're not so affected by things. Like, I'm telling you, your sister, I'm pretty sure looking at you right now, she loves you so much. Like, she don't want you crying so much for her. She's waiting for you to thrive. I'm telling you. She's waiting for you. Yeah, she's waiting for you. Trust me. And
live for her.
Yeah, you live for her. Yes. Don't let no mental illness take you down. I promise you. Don't let no negative nothing take you down. Because listen, you're Kiki. You're perfect. You're you. Nobody can match who you are. I'm telling you. You feel me? So I just want you to, have that in your heart, have that in your mind, because you are a person, you have feelings, and you can be who you are. And at the end of the day, you were born by yourself, you're going to be by yourself. At the end of the day, you still got people who love you, people who are there for you.
To be honest, today you guys can think that, you guys can think me as an observer today, as a spectator today. Alhamdulillah, I haven't faced anything like that in my lifetime, and I really hope that Allah will keep it that way. Or maybe I will face something in the future. I don't know, because I don't know my own fate. But you see, these stories, it inspires me, it motivates me, it's emotional. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Actually, the thing is.
So are you practicing Ramadan right now?
Yeah, I'm actually fasting right now.
So how has your fasting period been for you, and what can you share with us about Ramadan in general, but you personally sacrificing your body during this time period?
So Ramadan is not just about like fasting for all day. It's also about patience. It's also about repentance because this is a really holy month for us. And literally, what we repent today like gets. I mean, we get like 70 times bonus like rewards from the God. The thing is, I'm actually new in this country. I came here 1 year ago, and Ramadan is really different here. It was different in Bangladesh. When I was still in Bangladesh, we would have like all of our family members gather to have iftar in the evening. But it's kind of lonely here actually. It's just our family. It's just my mom, my dad, and my sister. But still, I really thank Allah that at least we have each other. Like all the members in our family sitting together, eating something. Um, it doesn't usually like it. I mean, we can't see these type of family a lot in these current ages. So what happens is that some parents have to like they work a lot. They don't talk to their like kids and childrens a lot, but it's not for me. Like the case is not same for me. My father and mother is like really supportive to me, and I'm really thankful for like I'm really thankful for that. And a lot of like people, so whenever, I really want to do something for them in the future because they are making a lot of sacrifice for me, for my siblings. For example, my mom was just a regular housewife back in Bangladesh, but now she is, and while she's in America, she's doing like a she's doing a job that she never thought of doing it in her entire life. My father is also he was a manager, but he's now working at a restaurant. You know how that might feel for him, but they're sacrificing a lot for me, and I really hope to do something for them in the future.
All right, can we clap it up for that real quick? As we wrap up, I want to give a big round of applause to yourselves real quick. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. And also, Miss S. Clap it up for Miss S. Clap it up for her. Thank you for all that you do this night right here. You're amazing. Thank you for all the work that you do in the school, for the podcast club. I know Miss Solana has been working with you hand in hand every single day. So we appreciate you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Anytime. All right, so everyone say the names one more time. Let's wrap up.
Yep.
Who's next?
Ayaj.
Solana.
John Lennon. Elias.
Young Exec King Carl.
Janvieve Naemani.
I don't know.